start off to Kailani Craine, who's joining us all the way from the USA, where it's 5 o'clock. Is that right?
Yes, 5 p.m. at the moment.
Okay, so you are all the way on the other side of the world. So I'm going to start off by introducing you to all of our schools, and they can give you a big wave and say hello, and then they're going to ask lots of questions for you about your training and all your preparation. So let's start off with Warra Alda Public School. Can you guys give us a big wave? They are in New South Wales. We're also joined by St. Teresa's Catholic School in Tasmania. Give us a big wave. Hi, guys.
Hi.
And also we're joined by St. Philip's Christian School in Cessnock. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. So what we might do is, Kailani, we might start off if you want to give us a bit of an introduction as to who you are and what sport you do and the event that you're training for next February. So take it away.
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Kailani Craine. Hi, everyone. And I am a figure skater, which is like ice skating. And basically right now I'm training for the 2018 Olympic Winter Games next year in Korea. So that's very exciting. And yeah, as Ashley said, I am in the United States in Los Angeles right now training.
Awesome. All right, well, we might get straight into some questions. So, Warra Alda, if you want to kick us off with the first question, we just need your first student to come up the front and in a big voice say your name and ask Kailani whatever you'd like to ask her. Alrighty.
My name's Ali and I'm from Warra Public School, and my question is, what made you decide to figure skate?
Hi. Well, what made me decide to figure skate is I actually just went to a birthday party at the ice rink and I really loved it. So after that, I just went into lessons. I never really thought it would be a really serious competitive thing. I just really loved the sport so much. So yeah, just on a hot day, it was a hot summer's birthday. And so after that, I just got lessons and continued.
Awesome. Great question. All right. St. Teresa's, your turn to ask a question.
When you were younger, what did you want to be?
Ooh, this is a good question. I never thought really I would be an athlete until I started figure skating. But before I started figure skating, I mean, of course, I'm a girl, so of course I would love to be a princess or something like that. But maybe if I was thinking more study-wise, perhaps a doctor. But then, you know, figure skating happened and you know, I just want to skate all the time now. So that was a really good question.
Awesome question. Okay. Awesome question. Okay. Your turn to ask a question. Your turn to ask a question.
That's not us, that's right.
St. Philip's, are you ready to ask? St. Philip's, are you ready to ask?
Do you want to come and ask your question?
There we go. There we go.
That's not us, right there. Just stand in front of it, that's all right. You could maybe see if it's working.
Perfect. Perfect.
How old were you when you first started ice skating?
Oh, when I first started ice skating, I was 8 years old. And I've loved it ever since, and now I am 19 years old. I just turned 19 2 days ago. But yeah, first started skating at 8 years old, and you know, that's kind of late for ice skating. I mean, some skaters, they are just born onto the ice. They start skating at like 2 years old, but no, not me. I was 8 years old when I started skating.
Great question. All right, Warra Alda, back to you for your second question.
Hi, my name's Lockie, mate. And how much pressure did you put? How much pressure did you got put on yourself, and how did you handle the pressure?
That's a great question, actually. Well, you know, sport is really high pressure situations sometimes, and I guess you just have to deal with it. You know, I'm so lucky to be able to do what I do, and basically I just, whenever I feel really nervous or like I'm shaking because I'm so nervous, I just think that, you know, I'm so lucky to be able to compete in figure skating because not a lot of people have the same opportunities as I do. So I just think how lucky I am, and that I should be so grateful for being able to represent Australia and to be able to even be in figure skating. I'm so grateful for that. So that's kind of what calms me down a little bit, and then I'm ready to go.
Great question. Okay, St. Therese, it's your turn.
Hi, my name's America, and what inspired you to be a figure skater?
What inspired me to be a figure skater? I never really thought that I would be a competitive figure skater when I started skating, but definitely it's funny actually, watching the 2010 Olympics, that really kind of a lot of my favorite athletes and a lot of my favorite figure skaters to this day competed in the 2010 Olympics. And I think after watching the women's event, the one that I will hopefully be doing in Korea in 2018 Olympics, after watching that in 2010, it was non-stop from there, basically. I mean, I just love the sport. It's so pretty. It can be really pretty. It can be really powerful. And there's all different types of it. So that's what I really love.
Awesome question. Okay, over to you, St. Phillips.
Is it hard to skate?
I think it's hard. I mean, it definitely does get easier, though. I mean, it is hard when you first start, obviously, but then I think it gets so much easier as you go along, and you know, like, you'll be a pro once you start. Just the first couple of lessons that you'll have, or the first couple of times that you have, they're usually the hardest. But if you just stick at it, then I promise it gets easier.
Awesome question. Okay, Warialda, your turn.
My name's Lee Shugaya. My question is, can you earn money for skating?
Pardon? Sorry, what was that, gorgeous?
Can you earn money for skating?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. That's a great question, actually. I mean, I think all athletes can, once you get really good at something, I mean, you know, the sky's the limit. You can always get a lot of money for, you know, you can sell a lot of things for people. You can earn money for, you know, going to schools and talking to you guys. There's, you can get into a lot of different things, especially figure skating. I mean, where we wear a lot of dresses that we can sell, and then also makeup. I mean, you know, hair products. Really, there's a lot of different things that you can earn money from. I mean, it's not just competitions, because you do earn money for doing well at competitions as well. But yeah, there's so many things that you can earn money from, and especially in figure skating, there's a lot of different doors that you can take, and, you know, really you can do anything that you want.
Great question. Okay, St. Therese, your turn.
Hi, my name's Harry. When was your first competition?
Ooh, my first competition. My first competition was maybe in 2007, I think, around that time. I was really little, so I wasn't, you know, definitely was, you know, just a little bit just struggling to stay on my feet at that stage. But it was really fun, and I have a lot of footage of me of my first competitions when I was really little. And my first international competition, my first competition that I went outside of Australia for, that was in 2000 and I think it was 2011 or 2012. And my first event that I competed in was in France, and then I went to Austria. So that was really exciting for me.
Awesome question. Okay, St. Philip's. St. Philip's.
Does it hurt when you fall?
Yes, I hate to say it. I hate to say it. Still hurt to fall. I mean, definitely we get used to falling and we learn how to fall, but sometimes there's just that fall that catches you off guard, and you don't really expect to fall, and those are usually the ones that hurt the most. I mean, yesterday I had a pretty bad fall and that hurt, so it doesn't really stop.
Great question. Okay, Wariolda, your turn.
Hi, my name is Bill McIntosh. My question is, what are the rules for figure skating?
The rules for figure skating? Well, the rules for what I do is I skate on my own to begin with. And then in the level of like Olympic level and senior level, I'm in senior ladies division. So we have two different routines. One is called a short program and one is called a free program. And in the short program, we have different elements, and the routine goes for about, my routine goes for about 2 minutes 40, and then my free program, the other routine, that goes for around 4 minutes 10. And so obviously there's a lot more things that I have to do in the free program, such as, like jumping and spinning in the air and then just spinning on the ground. And then there's a lot of footwork that's involved as well. And then we get two different marks on how we're scored. We have a technical mark, which is all the spins that we do and the jumps. That's our technical mark. And then we have what's called a program component mark, which means how well you express and, your facials and everything that comes into it. And then if you perform to the music as well, that's another big part of the program component score. And then what they do is they combine those, and that will give you your total, basically. And then that's how, the highest scored is first place, and so on. So, but the short program and the free program are broken on 2 different days, so we don't skate them on the same day ever.
Awesome question. Lots of rules to figure skating. Okay.
Oh yeah, there is. It's very confusing.
St. Teresa's just dropped off, but I'm sure they'll be back. So we will go straight to St. Philip's.
Why? How do you bounce back when something doesn't go right in your routine?
That is a very good question, and I'm still learning how to do that to this day, because sometimes it's very hard to make a mistake and then to get back on your feet and act like it didn't happen. And that's the main thing. Basically, the best thing that you can do is just try and delete it from your mind and just continue with the program and the routine. But it is very hard to do. I mean, especially in a big competition where you don't really want to make a mistake, but you just have to forget about it, because if you let it kind of stay there in your mind, that will affect the whole program, and maybe you might make another mistake. So I just try to forget about it.
Awesome question. Okay, Wariolda, another question from you, please.
My name is Liliana, and do you travel overseas a lot?
Oh yes, I travel overseas a lot. Since I finished school, I finished year 12 last year. I have been basically staying in Los Angeles to train quite a bit, because I don't have to go back to school to study. So now I'm definitely overseas a lot more, and I say I would travel for competitions, to like 10 different countries a year roughly. So definitely a lot of traveling. I mean, it's odd for me to be in one place for more than, a month or 2. So I'm always traveling around the world.
Great question. Okay, we'll go back to St. Philip's.
How did you learn to skate?
That's a good question. I learned to skate because I went into private lessons straight away. I didn't go to like a thing called skate school. I just went straight into private lessons, and but that's how I learned. It takes a long time, obviously. It takes a couple of years, but basically I've just got into private lessons, and then when I wanted to be a little bit more international, then I went overseas to train.
Great question. Okay, Wariolda.
My name is Sophie, and how many days do you train in a week?
I train 6 days a week, and usually around 4 to 5 hours on the ice a day. And then I do some gym work and then stretching. And that's for about 6 days a week. And then on Sunday, I have my day off, which is quite nice.
Awesome. Okay, St. Phillips.
How did you get so good at ice skating?
I can always get better at ice skating, but I just like private lessons, and I do train a lot on the ice, and when I'm on the ice, I'm really focused, and basically I practice my routine a lot, and that's not some skaters, they don't practice their routine so much, so when they get to competitions they're not really fully prepared. But I do make sure that I do train my program a lot and my routine. And then I do spend the hours on the ice, and I make sure that I've done my gym and everything, so I've left nothing to chance, and then I can go to competition, I can be ready.
Awesome question. Okay, Wariolda.
What's electricity, and do you have to follow like a contract, or do you get to make up your own every time?
Oh, okay. So I do. I usually have only, how I said I have a short program and a free program, 2 different routines. I keep the same routine, both routines, for a whole year, and that whole year is like one season in figure skating. And so it ends at the World Championships, and it goes right back around to the World Championships. And I have actually a really heavy input in what routines I do, and I pick the music, and I have a lot of say in what goes in the routine and how it's kind of laid out. And also the dresses, I draw my own dresses up, and then I send them to my dressmaker, and she will make exactly what I want in whatever color I want. So that's, I have a lot of input on what I do in my routines.
Awesome. Okay, so Phillips.
Which countries have you skated in?
Ooh, I skated in a lot of countries, but I will try to tell you them all. I have skated in, obviously, Australia, USA, Germany, Slovakia, France, Italy, Japan, Hong Kong, Chinese Taipei, Korea, Latvia, Croatia, I'm about to go to Slovenia. I was about to say that one. I haven't been there yet, but I will. Finland, Austria. I think that's it. I mean, I'm sure there's more that I've forgotten about, but that sounds about right. I've covered a big chunk of them.
All right, Wariolda, your turn for another question.
My name's Christian Whalen, and have you had a bad injury while you're skating?
Surprisingly, no, I haven't had an injury, which is quite odd for a figure skater. Figure skaters get injured quite a lot, so it's really weird that I haven't had an injury. I mean, I take care of myself very well, so I think I'm just well prepped to be on the ice every day, but No, I think I just really am, I've been really nervous about getting injured. So then I take all the precautions that I need. Like I really take care of my body well and make sure that, you know, if something's not feeling right, that I won't push it too hard so then I don't get injured. So basically, yeah, I've just been taking care of my body really well so I can avoid all injuries.
Great question. Okay, St. Phillips.
What is your best achievement in ice skating?
Ooh, I have a lot of different ones for a lot of different reasons, but I've won nationals, our national figure skating championships 9 times, and I was really happy with, you know, a couple of international competitions because I've won a few international competitions that I've done and gotten a place at others. But pretty much my greatest achievement will probably be, you know, qualifying for the Olympic Games. That will be a really big deal for me. And that's the one thing that I've been looking forward to my entire life, is just going to the Olympic Games, and I hope to do that in 2018.
Awesome question. Okay, Wariolda.
Hi, my name's Charlie Rose. My question is, how many shoes do you go through in a year?
This is actually a really good question because I just changed kind of my vision towards skates. I used to keep one for 1 year. Actually, I have my skates right here. I can show you. I used to keep one pair of skates for 1 year, but then these type of skates that I have, I didn't realize, but they kind of, you're supposed to change them at least twice a year, and then now I'm probably going to go through about 3 a year, because what you see is if it starts bending here in this spot, then you need to change them. And also if the blade, this is the blade, then if this wears down too much, then you need to change the blade as well. But these ones should last me through my next competition, but I will be changing them actually really soon. My new skates just came in today, so I will be changing them in about a month's time. And yeah, they're really pretty skates. I love them, and I hate to let them go every single time because they've given me so much love, so much experience with one pair of skates. So I hate changing them. But yeah, around 3 a year, I would say.
Awesome. Okay, St. Phillips.
Do you want to be a skating teacher when you get older?
Yes, I do. I would love it. I mean, I don't, after I finish competing, I would love to do ice shows. And then after that, I would love to coach because I don't see myself ever leaving the sport, basically. I think I'll be in this sport till I die. So I will be on the ice with like a little wheelchair until I can't even speak anymore. So yes, I would love to coach. It'll be really fun.
Great question. Okay, Wariolda, back to you.
Hi, I'm Madison, and my question is, what competition is your favourite?
Oh, okay. So this is a really good question. I love any championship event, and we get around, you know, there's around 2 big championship events each year, and that's 4 continents championships and also the world championships. And I think I love both of them. I mean, Worlds is definitely my favorite competition, but then after that, it's definitely 4 continents and why? That is because all of my international friends are in the same place, and it's a really huge competition. There's so many media attention, and there's so many cameras around, and there's so many fans that show up. I mean, there is a huge arenas get sold out with people, and that's really exciting. I mean, it's so fun to compete in front of all those people. So definitely the World Championships.
Great question. Okay, St. Phillips.
Where do you train when you are in Australia?
Great question. in Australia, I train in, I don't know if you guys know, I know a place called Newcastle. I train in Newcastle, in Warners Bay, and also I train at 2 different rinks in Sydney when I'm in Australia, but usually mostly in Newcastle because that's where I live, but Newcastle is around an hour and a half away from Sydney, so I train there also.
Awesome. Okay, Wariolda.
Hi, my name's Jane. Have you already been selected to represent Australia in the Olympics, and what do you hope to achieve?
Great question. Well, our qualifying for the 2018 Olympic Games is actually next month, and that will be held in Germany. So what I need to do is I need to qualify Australia a spot for the 2018 Olympics in Germany. And what I need to do is I need to get into the top 6 countries that will get a spot to compete. And then if I do that, then there's a chance that I could represent Australia at the 2018 Olympics. And if I do get selected to compete at the 2018 Olympics, then I would just like to put out the best that I can do. And, you know, I don't doubt that I can because I train really hard. And I just want to put out 2 solid performances and just make my country proud, basically.
Great question. Okay, St. Phillips.
What do you like to do in your spare time?
Ooh, in my spare time, I like to do a lot of things. I mean, I like going to the beach. There's really nice beaches in both Australia and the LA. I like going out and shopping, and I like trying different, actually lately I like trying different food places. I mean, you wouldn't think that coming from a figure skater, but I love food. And so I like trying all new restaurants, and yeah, just basically hanging around. I don't like to do anything too crazy because then on my day off, I just like to, you know, kind of chill and hang around because then I'll have a lot more energy for the next week. So that was a really good question though.
Awesome question. We are going to be joined by another school shortly, and they'll have lots of questions as well, but we'll just keep going until they join us. So, Warrior,
Awesome.
You have another question?
Hello, my name's Angus, and can you get Converse ice skates, and what are your favourite type of ice skates?
I wish we could get Converse ice skates. I wish. But unfortunately we cannot. We only have a couple of brands that we have, and my skates are Adidas skates. That they're called Adidas, and the type of Adidas skates that I have is called the pianos. So these are my favorite skates. These do everything for me. I mean, they take a lot of pressure off of me, and I've been in these for about 2 years now, and my blades, we have different type of blades as well, and these blades are called John Wilson blades, and I absolutely love them. I've been in these guys since I first started skating, so that's a long time, but these ones are gold seal blades from John Wilson blades. And so this combo is the combo of dreams. This is gold. Like, this is where the magic happens. And I'm just there to support them, basically. But yeah, we have specific brands, and it would be so cool if we had Converse skates. Maybe they should think about, you know, bringing out a skate line. That would be really cool.
Can be a new business plan.
Yeah.
Okay, St. Phillips, do you have enough?
Have you ever done partner skating?
You know, I've never done partner skating. I mean, I've had some fun with my friends off the ice that have tried to lift me off of the ice, but never on the ice. I mean, it would be so fun. I think it would be really fun, pair skating especially, because we have 2 different type of partner ice skating. We have the dance section, and we also have pair skating, which pairs is a little bit more like single skating, since we do the same things but just with a pair. And I think that would be really fun. I mean, you never know. Maybe one day I'll try it.
All right, Wariolda, we'll go back to you for another question.
I'm Maya Montgomery, and what type of food do you have to eat?
I have a lot of different types of foods to eat. I mean, if I'm being good, I usually have like, you know, a lot of chicken, a lot of like beef, and like salads and vegetables. But if I'm not being good and if I'm in my off time, in my off season, then I love all different types of foods. I mean, I love Italian food. I love like kind of diner food. They're like burgers and stuff like that. Of course, the good stuff. But also, oh yeah, ice cream is definitely a favorite. I love ice cream. Oh yeah, and frozen yogurt too. That's really yummy. But yeah, for now and until the end of the Olympics, I'll probably be living off chicken and salad and vegetables.
Alrighty, so we've been joined by our other school, St. Patrick's in New South Wales. Do you guys want to give us a big wave? Hi, how's it going? We are chatting with Kailani Craine, who is a figure skater, and she's been telling us about all her preparations before hopefully what will be her first Olympics in February next year. So we're going to take some questions from you now. So if you want to come up the front and one at a time and say your name and then ask Kailani a question and she will answer it for you. So whoever would like to go first from St. Patrick's, come on down.
Hi, Kailani. I'm Molly, and my question is, who is a figure skater?
My favorite figure skater? There are so many. But I would have to say probably Mao Asada, and she actually just retired this season, so that's very sad to hear. But she probably my favorite just because she's Japanese. She's a Japanese figure skater, and she's my favorite because she's kind of what really made me want to compete in figure skating. So I remember watching the 2010 Olympic Games, and I absolutely love all of her programs, her routines, and you know, she's such a nice girl as well, and I love meeting nice skaters, and I was so thankful to meet her last year. And yeah, she's just so nice, and she's such a great role model, and yeah, definitely Mao Asada is my favorite figure skater.
Great question. Okay, we'll go back to Warrior. Do you guys have another question for Kailani?
Hello, my name is Grace, and my question is, have you ever had to miss a game?
No, usually whenever I commit to doing a competition, I usually always do it. Unless at the beginning of the season, so kind of maybe 2 months ago, we sit down with my team and we discuss what competitions I would like to do. And sometimes we plan out a whole bunch, and then I will not go to them if I don't feel like I need to go to them. But this year I've committed to pretty much all of the competitions that I will be doing. So up until in about 2 months' time, then I'll have to sit back down again and then discuss what other competitions I want to do for the rest of the year. But usually I don't pull out of competitions.
Good question though. Okay, we'll go back to St. Patrick's. Can we have another question from you, please? Whoop. May have lost them.
My name is Bailey, and this is my question. Training to get here.
I've been training since around 2006 or 2006. So it's now 2017. So I've been now skating for, you know, around 10 to 11 years. So that's how long it's kind of taken. But a lot of people actually have trained way longer than me. So usually they started around 2. So, you know, that usually, you know, there's around, you know, 20 years in this business. But that's because once we start it, we love it. So whenever we start figure skating, we're usually in it for a long time, many, many years. And so that's why I think that a lot of people still know people in their mid-30s that still compete. So there's a lot of time in it, and there's a lot of time left for me too. So that's very exciting.
Great question. We might take a couple of questions in a row from St. Patrick's because they haven't got to ask the rest of theirs. So do you haven't got to ask the rest of theirs. So do you?
Hi, Kailani. My name's Hutchins. What is your favorite style of physics?
Of figure skating? My favorite style of figure skating, sorry?
Yeah, I think that was the question.
Okay, my favorite style of figure skating in my routines, I love to skate something really fun. My short program, one of my routines, is this really fun, very bright kind of routine. And then my free program is very dark and mysterious and very powerful. So those are definitely my two favorite types of routines to do.
Great question. Okay, St. Patrick's, can we have another question from you, please? Another question from you, please.
Hi, Kailani. My name's Lucas. My question is, what do you do when you're not skating?
When I'm not skating, I usually just go to the beach. I love going to the beach if it's good weather. I love going shopping, and I actually really like, like I said before, like I love going out and trying different foods. That's really fun to me, and just hanging out with my friends is really fun too. And then also I like, just like chilling out a little bit, because then I'll have a lot of energy for the upcoming training week. And usually I'm so tired by the end of the week that I just want to sit at home and not really do anything and kind of just, veg out on the couch. That's basically what I like to do.
Great question. Okay, we're going to take two more questions from St. Patrick's, and then we need to let Kailani get some rest before, I'm sure, another big training day tomorrow. So do we have another question from St. Patrick's?
Hello, Kailani. My name is Poppy. This is my question. Do you come up with your routines by yourself?
No, I do not come up with my routines by myself. I have my own choreographer that usually makes up my routines, but I have a lot of say in what goes in my routine. So I pick my music and I pick my costume. I always draw my costumes up for my dressmaker to make for me, and I pick the colors and everything, but I really do have a lot of say of what goes into my routine. But the person that actually makes up my routine is my choreographer, and I see him still, even when my program is finished, then I still see him every day, just in case we like to change some things, so it's not really set in stone. I mean, I got my routine choreographed around about 2 months ago, and we're still kind of changing it a little bit to this day. So yeah, it's still going on. It's a work in progress.
Good question. Okay, can we have one more question from St. Patrick's?
Hi, my name is Parker, and my question is, have you ever had any major injury?
No, I haven't had a major injury, thank God, because injuries really do take a toll on figure skaters, and if I did get an injury, then I would be off for a little bit. But thankfully, I haven't had an injury yet, because I really do take care of my body a lot. So I make sure that, there's not too much pain going on. I mean, sometimes when we fall, of course, it hurts a little bit, but if it's nothing too major and if it's nothing that, I can't brush off, then I'll be fine. But thank God I haven't had a major injury yet. Awesome.
All right, Kailani, thank you very much for your time. We're going to let you go with lots of questions today, but we are going to chat to our schools again in a couple of months' time and check in with your preparation and seeing how it's all going. So, guys, can we have a big round of applause for Kailani? They were some awesome...
Thank you. It's so nice to meet you all.
No worries. Do you have any final messages for schools today?
Sorry, what was that? Sorry.
Do you have any final messages for our schools today?
Ooh, guys, I just want you to all stay safe. And, you know, if you ever want to try figure skating, then let me know and I'd be happy to teach you guys. It's so fun. And thank you so much for talking to me today. I had a really good time and I loved answering all of your questions. They were really good ones. And yeah, have a nice day, guys, and have a nice year. I'll talk to you another time.
All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.